Hello, everybody. We are back. We're fucking back this time. People thought we weren't gonna come back, but we came back.
Came back.
Yeah, just like every other week, we're fucking back. Okay, so suck it, all the people who thought we're not gonna come back. Yeah, today instead of coffee, we got fucking tea. But
You didn't introduce the show.
do we need to?
Yes.
Fuck. Welcome to Let's Relate, everybody. Today we got some juicy topics, but instead of going straight to the juicy topics, we're gonna drink our tea that we just made. Nick's already drunk his. Is there any left in your cup?
Of course there is.
Okay, there's some.
There's actually stuff left in my cup.
Okay, let's.
And there'll be more when I refill it.
Okay, let's. We have proper Chinese cups this time, like
yeah.
we're in China
Yeah.
and or Japan, and we're
These
drinking tea.
tiny little teacups.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Yes.
They're definitely not made in China. 100% definitely not made in China at all. If you see it in the video podcast at some point in the future, it's definitely not that. Okay, 100%.
Are you telling me my Chinese style teacups are not made in China? They're made in the U.S.
Okay, we just gotta roll back. You just looked at the Chinese lettering. Just took a minute to realize you couldn't read it, and you're like, "Well, fuck. All right, let's just move on."
That is not at all what I was doing.
Okay, let's fuck this. Let's just take a drink. All right.
That feels good. Don't worry, if we finish, we have more.
That is so good.
And
yeah,
we don't even
actually
have to leave.
we have more,
We do.
and we have leaves. We can make more.
Yes. Well,
Well,
can't
just
make
out
too
of that.
much because if we run out, it's going to cost us a lot to resupply.
What? The tea?
This tea, yes.
Well, not. I'm not saying this. We can just reuse those leaves. Just fucking pump the shit out of those leaves. We're
No,
fine.
but once this is gone, it's gone.
What?
Otherwise, resupply is going to cost us a lot of money.
Well, we're not gonna drink specifically that tea.
Oh, I know, but if we do, it means that we have to, get funds together. I'm not sure if we can even travel. I don't think we can travel there right now. We have to wait for after COVID. Travel to Poland. Try to remember what city I was in.
Bro, I can just order
And go
Japanese
get.
tea. I got friends there.
It's not Japanese tea, though.
I got a friend from one of the podcast Discord I follow. I mean, I'm saying I can get Japanese tea. It's probably more authentic.
I'm not with it. Tea is not strictly Japanese.
Well, you can tell that to the Japanese. This show introduction is a disaster. Well, I know it's not Japanese, but I think
Tea just exists.
ignoring the conversation right now.
I
Drinking
know,
this-
drinking your tea.
I want to actually take
Ignoring the conversation.
let's take a
like
look
a
where the
bitch. What the hell?
tea first invented. Okay. Before this time period, there was no tea. Remember this, people. I'm sure there was. Okay. The history of tea dates back to ancient China, Chinese province. Okay. I said Japan, but it's China. It's close by. Almost 5,000 years ago, according to legend, I have to do this racist Chinese voice. According to the legend, in 2732 BC, Emperor Shen Nung discovered tea when leaves. This is super racist. Leaves from a wild tree blew into his pot of boiling water. He was immediately interested.
Okay,
In a
no, it started off as a medicinal drink.
It says Emperor Shen Nung.
Yeah, as a story.
We follow the tea story of China, the birthplace of tea.
Stop.
That's such a racist way to stop. I am so sorry, everybody. I just offended all the followers, every single one of them, even if you don't speak Chinese. Let's go to Wiki, because we definitely know that Wiki is the best place to get all the sources. Guys, if
Yes.
you're ever in high school and teachers tell you don't trust Wiki, they're wrong. Okay, Wikipedia. I'm kidding.
No, Wikipedia is actually does a really good job at actually vetting a lot of the stuff they do.
Yeah.
And it's a great, like, if you're doing a history project, don't just solely use Wikipedia.
Go bottom.
But it is a really great starting point to figure out, like, if you're trying to do a time period, Wikipedia is really good about history, giving you events, and it has links and this, like, sources and links
That's what I'm
that you can follow, and it's a good way to figure out, all right, here's what happened, and this is stuff now you can search and go find more information. Wikipedia is a great starting point for research. Not the best resource, but it does have links to other stuff of
Yeah.
where it gets information. So
Yep. So
definitely great for history projects.
Yes.
At the least.
Wikipedia is good. I'm just saying, don't quote Wikipedia. Oh, there's something called brick tea.
Okay.
It's called compressed tea, compressed tea called tea bricks, tea cakes, or tea lumps, and tea nuggets, according to the tea shape and size, are the blocks of whole and finely grounded black tea, green tea, or post-fermented tea leaves that have been packed in molds, compressed in block. Okay, so that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
It just looks like, you know that alien lady from Men in Black 2, that snake lady.
Yes.
It just looks like that, but in a brick form.
Let me see.
It's kind of. I'm gonna send you the photo. Hold on. I'm gonna send you the photo. It looks kind of nice. Kind of something you want to put in your tea. But technically, everybody, this is a French press tea, so it's got a little bit of pizzazz in there.
Okay.
It's like drinking orange juice out of like a really crocheted a cup. You know, just give it like you just feel nicer.
Okay.
You just feel confident with that shit. All right, so I'm gonna send you this on Discord.
Okay. Let's see this tea thing.
The tea brick.
If you're describing it like that,
Yeah. Kind of looks nice to me. I mean, it's something I want to put in the tea.
interesting. It looks like It looks like a block of snakes.
Yeah, pretty much. I would put that in there.
Yeah. No, it looks like worms. It really looks like worms.
Yeah, I mean, but that's, I mean,
Actually, do you know what it reminds me of?
it's like dead worms, dead maggots.
It reminds me a little bit of particle board, actually,
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
sense.
I can see it. Okay, but but tea is actually from that time period.
Okay. Interesting.
The Chinese have consumed tea for thousands of years. I mean, we're talking about 5,000 years before,
Yeah.
like, everything else. So I don't.
But I'd imagine there's use of tea other places that's undocumented.
Oh, definitely, probably India. Asia.
Yeah.
For medicinal reasons, probably.
Yeah. Native Americans, obviously.
Definitely, 100%.
So on.
Who?
No, I'm just saying. And so.
Oh,
and
so
on.
long. I thought you said
And
so
no, and
long, and
so
I was like,
on.
who were those people?
No.
Japanese. It's actually pretty good with in Japan too. There's so many different kinds of tea. I found out. I was just doing research. There's something called there's like a tea powder. I
Yes.
forget what it's called. A porach, whatever what it's called. It's a green tea powder.
Okay.
Green. My end's not working, everybody. And damn it.
Oh no.
Okay, everybody. So here's some background story. I'm using my gaming laptop, which I broke the keyboard keys back in whenever when I used
Did
to
you
get.
rage quit?
No, I just got angry at the stuff.
So you rage quit.
I didn't quit. I just got angry and I just smack keys. And sometimes I pull the keys out to clean.
Don't you know not to do that?
What?
Don't smack your keys. You're ruining your laptop, dude.
I
You
think
can't
there's
do
like
that.
only two keys that are kind of degraded, and that's S and the D.
Okay.
And some of the keys I took out to clean, and they snapped the.
Okay. So you broke your laptop,
Not really.
kind of.
Broke my keyboard on my
You
laptop.
broke your keyboard. Same thing, kind of.
You saying I broke my laptop sounds like I smacked it against a wall, and now it doesn't work.
Did you though?
No,
You may have.
I have never.
Okay.
This baby's been taken well care of.
I did at one point chuck a laptop across a room.
Was it fine afterwards?
Yeah, it hit a pillow first, so
What did it hit after?
I don't remember.
So that's definitely sounds like floor and a wall, maybe a table too. So
No, it did not.
Definitely broken.
I know I threw it and it ripped right out of the power cord because it was plugged in at the time. It was a very old computer and needed replacing. It was like, first off, this was over 10 years ago, plus a hand-me-down as well.
Okay.
So it's worse than worse by today's standards, and especially back then, still shit. So,
I can see it. That's some frustrating shit right
yeah. Don't worry, it was already not working. Me throwing it had nothing to do with the continued lack of
there. I
not
think the
working.
computer would have debated otherwise if he was alive,
Well, the computer may have had the chance to debate it if it may have had the chance to debate if it wasn't such a piece of shit.
Fair point.
But now we're on to this computer, which is so much better. except for the fact that there's an issue with the touchpad.
Oh, okay.
What?
That just sounded like like this. There's nothing wrong with this computer at all. She's my baby girl, except this weird fucking shit. With this computer. I mean, it's so dumb. It's like
No. I mean, no. It's a good computer. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fine. The touchpad doesn't really work too well.
Yeah, I've noticed. Yeah,
There's a bit of whatever these are, the rubber.
the speakers. Yeah.
No, not the speaker. The rubber
Oh, the
cushions for the thing.
yeah, different for the screen when it goes down.
And it makes this weird noise when you push in on one side of the screen, as if it's loose.
Oh, yeah,
That's weird. Like if I push here, it's like
yeah.
it's
It's bound to happen. Mine's on the. My cushions are on the actual screen.
but it works. Although my computer does drive me a little crazy because it's touchscreen, which means I think everyone else's laptop is touchscreen.
You can just disable the touchscreen.
I don't want to. I like it.
Oh, okay. Can you fold it like?
Yeah, I can.
Oh, okay. That's pretty amazing. Why don't you do art on there then?
What art?
Just whatever you want. Draw
don't-
dicks or something. I
I
don't
don't
know.
have any art to draw. I don't want to do art on here.
Whatever comes to your mind.
I prefer paper and pencil.
You're wasting trees, man. That's my main reason to get into art, because I like to draw, and I have a sketchbook, but I don't use it anymore, because every time I use it, I'm like, fuck, I'm wasting
I
trees.
prefer to write, though. You know that.
What?
I prefer to write, not draw.
Yeah. Yeah, you're kind of right. I'm more of a drawing kind.
Yeah. I've never seen you draw, though.
What?
I've never seen you draw.
I do, I just don't do it, like, too often.
Yeah.
Well, if I only draw when I'm, like, super stressed out, which doesn't happen that much.
Yeah. No, I stick to writing. Although I haven't written in a while. Although recently I did write a new poem that still needs work.
Yeah.
But it's quality. You've heard it.
I've heard it, I heard it. But it's still too personal to broadcast it out to everyone else.
It's vague enough, though.
I know, but still, I'd
Yeah.
rather not, you know.
I know. You rather not. You're just trying to
I'd
crush
rather
my,
you not.
You're just trying to crush my poems.
I mean, you can post it on, like, Scholastic or something,
Yeah.
win, like, competitions.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I thought you were going to name some other bits of social media, in which case I was going to go into the whole thing about how certain social media sites, once you post things like photos, poetry, whatever, but more so
Instantly
photos, yeah, you lose copyright. So
You have to, like, trademark it or whatever, or if it's something.
exactly.
So I usually go into, like, copying or Photoshop and just put, like, a logo or something.
Yeah.
Or my name.
Yeah, that's something I need to do in my own time, is actually design my own watermark for my photos. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I know I have my devices set up so that my name, my information's in the metadata. Mm-hmm. But
Do you want to make you one?
no, I'll take care of it. That's a separate thing. And at some point, we should probably talk about other stuff on this podcast.
No, I was gonna talk about the green tea powder that I was I thought about. It's called matcha tea.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that.
Fill me up too. Top me off.
Okay. There we go.
I've ended my tea, and I'm probably not
You
gonna
didn't
drink.
even finish it before refilling it.
What?
You didn't even finish yours. You're making me refill it already.
It's just grimy at the end of it. So apparently, matcha tea is very famous. Never heard of it, but maybe I'm just not of a tea enthusiast as I thought I was.
Clearly not.
There's a couple teas I've drank. I've drank blueberry tea,
Okay.
cameline, lemon. There's tangerine tea, which was vaguely weird at one point. There's rosé,
Yeah.
which like just rose.
Yeah. I'll drink most teas. I know my primary go-to is usually green tea.
Yeah, green's pretty good.
Or, yeah,
This is
green
the
tea,
casual good.
jasmine. No, but teas are good.
Where do you
I
find
don't-
jasmine? What?
What?
That sounds kind of nice.
The only time I really put anything in my tea sometimes is if it's raspberry tea, I like a little bit of honey in it. And actually, someone at work turned me on to the way they make tea. It's ginger tea
Okay.
with bit of milk and I think it's cardamom for spice. Yeah,
Cinnamon.
yeah, it's really good. Yeah, definitely has quite the kick.
Dude, I don't need more kick.
What?
I don't need more kick.
No, but she makes it
No,
from
it's-
raw ginger. So
Yeah, it's definitely good. You know, I was thinking, for the first ever video podcast we do, we should do a pepper challenge or whatever.
the ghost pepper challenge.
No, just straight up like
Oh.
eating how many peppers we can go for. So we could start
Like
with
plain
like low.
peppers?
What?
Like just plain jalapenos.
No, like we go up on Scoville. So we start with like just straight up peppers, like buy from the
Yeah.
grocery store, and then we go up like the Scoville scale to habanero, then Ghost. That's
Maybe.
it. We stop at Ghost. We can't go any further. We will die on podcast.
Okay.
Like
Maybe.
no, because
I still have some dried ghost peppers.
I know, but we'll buy a new pack or something.
Okay.
Like
Why?
because it'll come in handy future stuff. We'll make like spicy sandwiches, stuff like that.
Oh, I was thinking. Well, talk about
If
later.
you can't tell, I love cooking.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I love to make food.
I feel like when you have your own place, you're going to be a really good. I'm hoping you cook more.
Yeah.
Or like I see you cook.
Well, right now my mom's just hoarding the kitchen, so I can't really do anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those that don't, or just to be across, I never visit Devesh's house really.
Yeah.
At the best,
It's a very small house.
Yeah. At best, I've waited like by the door
Yeah.
for him to show up, but I'd never actually like been at his house. I don't know what it's like for you to cook.
It's.
I'm
really
looking forward to you having your own place. I hope
Yeah.
I'm assuming you'll invite me over and we'll do shit.
Oh, of course, yeah. It's like a World War II era house, so it's like a small house.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, we live on the road, so it's noisy.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's a
Yeah.
family home,
Yeah,
but
well, ours is in a little town, so
yeah, you're a little bit on the inside. Yours a bigger place,
yeah. But
and you also got a furnished basement, which is nicer.
that's true. Except it's cold, and we need to be
I
warm
think
for us to record.
almost every basement's cool, unless they're
That's true.
super renovated, like mega renovation.
That is true. I mean, the heat just doesn't work down there, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
so
you
the
know what
first
they
video
say about
podcast we do made down there may be just us, like dressed up as
like woolly snowmen or whatever.
Yes, thank you.
So they live in Alaska.
I lost the word. Like Eskimos.
Eskimos, pretty much. Or what we're gonna choose? Just light the couch on fire and just live with it. Just like
Why would we light the couch on fire?
I don't know. At some point, we just start screaming, makes things exciting.
Okay. See, I don't know why. The minute you said light the couch on fire, because I'm too obsessed with movies. In my mind, the first thing on the Rolodex that comes up with couch on fire is the movie Zathura.
Yeah,
Space Jumanji, where they just light a fluid on the couch,
Yeah.
push it out the door, and it just floats
love
off
that movie.
burning.
That movie's good.
That movie, as a kid, on
it's-
like a little bit, actually was a little scary.
For you,
Not scary, but like the words like
I enjoyed that thoroughly.
got
when
me
I saw it.
my heart going a little bit.
Yeah,
for certain
yeah.
things.
Yeah,
But it was well done. Yeah,
it was. I don't know. I guess a lot of people say it's a horrible movie or whatever. I don't know. I just
it's not. I don't know
I,
what where
I
that
link
comes
with the
from.
nostalgia.
Yeah,
It's super good to me.
yeah. But again, we can't top Jumanji, the original.
Are you kidding? Who are you kidding? That movie was legendary.
Yeah,
I mean, even the sequels that came out. Okay, one.
yeah. Well, the new ones just
Yeah.
see. The
Do
second,
you want to talk about the new ones? Because it's just like,
okay,
it's just
real quick.
holy shit.
There is this new thing I've been seeing for a lot of, and maybe it's an older film too. I haven't seen enough of it, but it's definitely in newer films. I noticed this when they go to do a sequel. I feel like maybe it's just lazy writing, but the concept is always the couple that got together in the first episode
Yeah.
is now having problems,
Yeah.
and like I get like that's a thing,
Yeah.
but if you look just so many different movies where they do it, it just feels cheap.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary, and it adds nothing to the film, really.
Yeah. It's like,
It's not new, it's unnecessary.
you know what it's like? It's like most of these shows where they just stick the pregnant banner whenever they want to have a plot twist in the show. It's like,
Yeah.
how are we going to have a plot twist?
So,
She's
like,
pregnant.
Yeah. Like, all right, let's think about this. Like, the second Jumanji did that. The second Jurassic World did that. Zombieland Double Tap did that.
Yeah.
I know there's more, but still, it's this constant thing of, what should part of the plot be? Let's make it the main couple that's having problems. Yeah, and that's it.
I think I can give it a little bit like rest if they had another, like, in any of these movies, if there was another main character arrived,
Yeah.
and then the girl who was feeling some shit for the first main character starts feeling the same way for the other character, and they kind of
Maybe
try to compete.
I don't know.
Like, it's gritty, but it's still like watchable, you know?
I just feel like I'm not getting anything from these
Like
from this story.
like, okay, I'm gonna spoil a little bit of the Marvel, but it's not too much. But
Yeah.
when like Thor meets the Guardians the first time.
Yeah.
And like Gamora
Gamora. Yeah.
Gamora starts like checking out Thor's muscles.
Yeah.
And Peter gets super insecure. That's a good scene because
It is.
it
Yeah.
brings a twist to their whole like entire family relationship
True.
situation.
A thing of note with that though is the fact that based on the way Thor dresses, it's not really something you can't notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of just it's there.
Yeah.
Really.
I don't think if he even wore stuff on top of it, people would not notice.
That's
It's
true,
like if
that's
he wore a
true.
long sleeve, people would definitely be like, "Man, you're
Well,
you're
yeah,
jacked."
because the sleeve would be ripping.
Even if he wore like stretchy stuff,
Yeah.
like you could see it,
I know.
and people be like, "Damn,
Could see his beard gut at the end of
yeah,
that.
he's a unit.
Yeah.
He's a specimen right there."
Yes.
So is Keanu.
You and Keanu Reeves.
I love Keanu.
Here's what I'm thinking.
He's a golden man.
Should this podcast get big enough,
We get
I am
Keanu on. No,
I'm gonna surprise you with getting Keanu Reeves on the show.
Oh no, I blush
Even
so
if it's
hard.
just like a quick audio message from him.
Oh no, I'll get so blushed. Oh man,
You would.
I
See,
would love it.
But that's the thing. You would. I don't have a celebrity, famous person, anyone like that for me though.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have it for the longest time, but then I like kept watching Keanu movies, and I was like,
Yeah.
he's got something.
No, I'm not saying he's not good, but like you're
mean, you look at his-
you're very obsessive.
I mean, you look into his eyes, you can get lost. It's like a maze to get out of his
You
eyes.
can get lost in anyone's eyes, just about.
That's not true. Okay, Keanu's special.
Okay.
I mean, I think you can say about Andrew Garfield. What's his name? The guy who did Spider-Man movies.
You just said his name.
Andrew Garfield. Is that it?
There were 3 people that played Spider-Man live action:
I don't know.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. Pick one
I just want to be sure of his name. I don't
for the
wanna
Amazing Spider-Man or the newest the new Spider-Man.
But I'm saying there's like 2 other people whose eyes I can kind of get lost into. It's either Andrew Garfield or Ryan Reynolds, who both kissed at one of the shows.
I'm aware.
Yeah, so that was kind of like a situation, but
Yes,
it was kind of nice. Ryan is the Deadpool, so you kind of get lost in the eyes too.
obviously.
Maybe Hugh Jackman, but
I'll see it for
Henry
Jackman.
Cavill's like, yeah, he built a game in PC. I watched this whole video.
Okay.
It's kind of nice.
All right.
I mean, I'm not kidding, but I think everyone noticed that his bicep made the radiator that like is supposed to be like pretty big in size looked like nothing. Like it was nothing.
And what film was this?
What?
What is this for?
Just the video he made. Like
I have
he,
not seen
He
this,
built this like gaming computer,
Interesting.
and he put his like he was doing screwing something in.
Yeah.
And the radiator was above his arm, and he was screwing something with his right arm.
Okay.
Right onto the motherboard
Yeah.
or something. And
Like you do.
you can see the comparison of his bicep to the radiator, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That he's a unit. He can take someone out just by like,
Yeah.
oh god. These are like buff ass people. I mean, I guess they got like trainers and stuff, so it's a little
True.
different.
Yeah,
like
that's-
a lot of people when they work out, it's been an issue in my life where I don't find the motivation, but secondly, it's hard to get from where I am, which is 190 pounds with a kind of a low end belly,
Yeah.
to kind of a buff 6-pack, huge muscles, because they like. I guess trainers kind of put them on a really solid like protein unit.
Yeah.
Unit.
Well, when you have
protein
someone who's
routine.
literally being paid to ensure that you look a certain way so
Yeah.
that you can get paid for a film,
Yeah.
it's
I mean-
kind of going to happen for you.
Yeah, I mean it's a little different when you are like a normal person and trying to get in shape because you
When
don't
you're
wanna
around
spend-
our age dealing with, blue collar work and school and just whatever the fuck else you're doing.
It's not even that. It's the fact that even if we got the
It's a little bit hard to
trainer,
put the time. Yeah.
like there's no point of it because we're not making any. We're not getting benefits out of it. I guess we're getting healthy, but at the same time, after the trainer's done and stuff, we're probably kind of gonna get back into the shape we were because we don't maintain with that
Yeah.
routine.
Debatable. I feel like if I was in that position, I would be getting more from it, but maybe you wouldn't.
I mean, it depends on person to person because I have a really heavy metabolism.
Yeah.
And my body is super. It's super restrictive to change.
Yeah.
Like there was a time in college when I was thin and like I had like a pack, one pack, not even two, just one pack.
Yeah.
You know, just like left side a little bit. You know, just kind of squeeze your stomach a little bit. You can see the one pack.
Okay.
I had like muscles, which you kind of commented on a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Which is remnants of that, and I look good. But
Yeah.
then like my metabolism used to kind of having a little bit of belly.
Yeah.
Over the high school, so it I think it was in like a week or two, it just returned to that. But I spent a month getting to that shape.
Yeah.
And just the effort that takes to getting to that shape is just too much.
Okay.
I mean, that's why I like Keanu, though.
Yeah.
Bring you back to Keanu. That's why I like Keanu, because he's not a unit,
Yeah.
but at the same time, he's like just perfect man, you know?
Yeah.
Just Gucci enough.
No, he's good.
Yeah.
Can't say I'm overly fond of, say, some of the last film he did. Was it John Wick?
Three?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was
I
like,
don't, personally, the second one, not bad.
I mean, he
It's
kind of,
good. Third John Wick movie,
I mean, it was a little weird, but he like legit
I feel like the third
threw a
movie just
knife.
fell apart for me.
What?
I feel like the third movie kind of fell apart for me.
Why, it just was off.
The world building felt
It just seemed unnecessary.
broken,
Yeah.
not unnecessary, disjointed, and it felt, I don't know, because we weren't getting back to things. He had to rush into every scenario, every new part of the world, this assassin world.
Plus
he had
he-
to run into, and I feel like it didn't give time to settle for like why each part exists and such.
I mean,
Maybe it felt off to me.
it looked like he was just in mostly every other movies he's struggling to do stuff, right?
Yeah.
But he's up on his feet like in no time. This movie he was just like limping and he's dying all
Yeah.
over the place and he's getting
Well,
shot
he is a
and like
person.
well
I don't
no,
know,
but
the-
that's the idea. Like
Yeah.
he's John Wick. Like he's supposed to be like a unit.
Yeah. I think the
My
fact
new
that the third
favorite
movie
word
is just
these
so
days.
much, it comes right after, and it's not. Again, I have to rewatch it. It's been a while. To a degree, in the third movie, there's no more plot building. The movie's simply reactionary to the last one,
Yeah.
and I think that's an issue.
I think the whole movie
It
is
didn't
an
feel
issue.
like it built anything new. It's just okay. We set up circumstances in the second movie, and now we need to, finish that. It didn't add anything different. It didn't try to build off on any more story. Really, he tried. He had like back history with a few characters, but that's not the same as actually adding anything
I mean, this
to
is
character and stuff. It felt like for me.
this is the leading problem with some of the sequels, right? Is because when the sequels come out, they come out because they want to finish the movie.
Right.
Like it's just there to make
Yeah.
money,
But it's
right?
unfortunate because the second movie came out and there's like a reason that he still needs to be in this world. And in that reason, we build on an aspect of the world,
Okay.
which is, the medallions, making this blood oath to people and so on. That makes sense. That follows through. And it's a good reason to keep bringing him back. The third movie is just reactionary to the second movie, which I understand is necessary, but also it doesn't really go anywhere from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
So,
Yeah, I think I watched like 20 minutes of the first movie and that was like no the third movie and that was done. The first one was very good. Second
I
one
definitely want to
equally.
go back and watch the first one again. Also, the third one
That line.
completely fucked up on the count of I wanted 3 kills with a pencil and I didn't get it. So clearly the movie is terrible and should be thrown away and be redone. No, seriously, they mentioned that he killed 3 people with a pencil in the first movie.
Yeah.
First movie, kills 1 guy with a pencil. Second movie, 2 people with a pencil. Third movie, no pencil.
Maybe they should have shown 3 guy with a pencil.
Maybe
Guys.
that would have made the movie better.
Continuity.
Yeah. No, but Keanu Reeves does a lot for continuity and such. Particularly his film being an action movie and stuff, is very well known for the authenticity of it, particularly the fighting.
Yeah.
The fighting styles and particularly the firearms. I know one of the aspects of like the particular gun he uses is a model that's actually known for jamming, and that's one of the things you see him. He's constantly cycling through magazines, and he's constantly checking his gun because it is historically a gun that jams. So there's a sense of realism to the film.
Here's my
But that's just something you get with Keanu Reeves.
here's my Here's something I want to say to all the movie makers right here, and I'm gonna bring my mic real fucking close to my face. Okay, when you make a fucking movie or a sequel, have fucking continuity in there, and make it with a good reason. Okay, look at Men in Black movies; they're fucking great. Okay, don't just
Till you get
make
to
a movie.
international.
What?
Till you get to international.
Okay, that's an exception. I mean, like 1, 2, 3, the trilogy,
Yeah.
right?
Men in Black 1 through 3 is actually pretty good for a trilogy that
Yeah.
holds itself together. I don't get why people take issue with it.
Who took an issue with it? I want names.
I don't know. I've heard rumblings online of like people didn't like the trilogy. I never found anything with it that didn't work necessarily.
Maybe you're just biased. I think.
Possibly.
Yeah,
Hard
but
to say.
okay, there might be like couple things that just seem a little off,
Yeah.
but all in all, it was a good like first one. Okay, it's an old movie with the times. They had limited technology, even with the CGI. They did great work.
Yeah, they did.
Right? They did the whole cockroach. I hated that scene because I hate roaches. It's fucking ridiculous. I was cringing the whole time.
Nice.
The second movie, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Right? Alien lady, great.
Yeah.
Had the scene. Had to bring the K back. General. Third one, travel back in time. Fucking awesome.
Yeah. Also, it wasn't just we need a third movie and travel back in time. The third movie ends and we realize there's more history
Yeah.
between the two of them.
Yeah.
And it still carries on this theme of there's more to the universe.
Yeah.
Which is something that's constantly going on in those movies.
Yeah.
Keeps coming back to.
Yeah.
It's which they do a good job of. It's kind of like how the last Jack Sparrow movie they didn't come back to that constant theme, which is usually life, living for eternal life, living for as long as you can, and so on. It has an internal theme that keeps following through. Men
Yeah.
in Black does that.
And then International came out, and I just was like,
International was so disjointed of a movie. And you know what the one thing?
just didn't
weird thing?
explain it, mate.
It was an old series, and the moment I saw the poster, and I know people like him for other, like being in Thor. The moment I saw Chris Hemsworth on that poster, I'm like, this is gonna be bad. Nothing against him, but using like major celebrities, like really well known actors like that, like like people you recognize instantly
Yeah.
for this, I knew it's like this is not gonna be good,
Okay.
and
Here-
it wasn't. It
here's-
was terrible.
Here's where I disagree, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to adjust my mic quickly, and then I'm going to say my point. It could have been a good movie if they didn't portray Chris Hemsworth as such a like fucking weirdo who's just like not serious about his job, drinking all the time. He's just not taking anything seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking about. It's like he's an agent of Men in Black. He had to work hard for this, right?
Yeah.
So portray him with some sort of, acknowledgement, and certainly don't show that a girl who came from basically just was mistakenly remembered
Yeah.
Men in Black, or mistakenly wasn't like forgot them,
Right.
managed to find them, and now basically has to carry the whole team. Don't portray that, because now you have an outsidery character leading a super secretive service that's now trying to save a planet.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have had a cameo with Will Smith and what's his face? What's his character?
I don't remember the guy's name.
I'm casting it. I'm looking up the cast.
Okay.
Man, you got to look it up. My keyboard's too slow.
Okay.
MIB. B's not even working too. MIB cast. It's
Tommy
Tommy
Lee
Lee
Jones.
Jones. It's perfect timing. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
They could have had cameo Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, but no, didn't have that.
Yeah.
Maybe they could.
I mean, they did have Emma Thompson,
Who's
who was in the last in MIB3.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make a good point.
You remember that guy who showed up in all three movies? The first time he was like at a place where the cockroach attacked
I do not know who you're talking
in the
about.
morgue, and then the second time he's like the guy who has the disc for the MIB story. It's like, gentlemen,
Wait, is he actually in all of them?
He's in two of them, and when in the second movie when they bring Kay back, the lady that that lady who the agent that Kay Will Smith gets rid of in the first scene
Yeah.
after finding the worm. He gets rid of that first agent, neutralizes him.
Mm-hmm.
He tells the lady to go,
Yeah.
bond with him because his agent thinks he's cute. That lady's seen in the same room after Kay disappears in the third movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
That I'd have to go back and look at.
Yeah, it's very beautiful continuity stuff, but those two actors continuously show up back and back
Yeah.
in both movies. So I forget. It's a dead air part of the
Yeah.
episode, everybody. Newt, what his name is? Newt?
Newt.
Newton?
Let's see.
There, this is him. I'm gonna move it up. That.
This guy.
Yeah, look, he was in the first movie.
I didn't even realize he was in the first one. That's
And he
him.
was in the second. That's Newton.
Yeah.
He was the Men in Black. He basically got saved by Men in Black, and then he didn't get saved.
He's always had interesting roles in other movies to a degree.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And who's the lady?
But yeah, that's the thing with all for. I mean, you have the first three, which obviously. Now, here's the one I'm curious: why did Will Smith want to do international, or was it just they didn't even want him to?
I think they didn't ask him.
See, that I take issue with that because I feel like in some way he should have at least cameoed in that movie. I don't know.
Let me ask.
It just doesn't.
Let me ask Google.
Or at least if he just showed up in dialogue.
He did. They did.
He did.
When Chris Hemsworth asked, "Where is K and J? Why are the K and J not on this mission?" and they said they're doing somewhere.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So, let me ask: why was Will Smith asked about? Why space bass worse? About?
Were they doing a better movie? I could see that.
I think he could have been doing the Will Smith movie that that kind of flopped.
The one Gemini Man.
Yeah.
I saw that. That wasn't necessarily great, but it wasn't that bad either.
I mean, it was his dream, kind of.
What do you mean?
He talked about doing that movie when he was little, like right out of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that.
Huh,
when he was super
interesting.
young, so he wanted to make that movie.
Yeah.
For a long time, and then he did make that movie.
Interesting.
So it was kind of
Yeah.
his dream to do it.
No, but I get why it kind of flopped. It's not bad, but there's nothing like stand out about it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It did definitely give feel similar to his other movie he did. Mm-hmm. Remember the one where like him and like his son crash on Earth or something? Mm-hmm. It reminded me a lot of that one. So.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just reading why Will Smith and Tommy J. Loans. No. Tommy Jones Lee weren't.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. God damn it! Keep getting his
Stop
name wrong.
messing it up.
I'm so sorry, Tommy Lee Jones.
Kay was here right now. He'd neutralize you.
I would have been dead 20 seconds ago.
I said neutralize you, not kill you.
What's the difference? I know what the difference is.
How dare you?
Man. Laurie McDonald, Peter Waters producers. As McDonald said, they finished the trilogy in Middleback 2012, and they felt that it closed off a chapter, J and K's story arcs, and didn't plan to bring J and K back to their stories. Okay, so I guess they're not gonna ever bring back him. Oh, but there's posters in the movie I missed, which show J and K.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like
it's better with.
Like here, that's the cockroach monster, and then that's J and K.
That is so excessive, and Men in Black does not seem like the type to even do those posters.
Yeah. I mean, why would they keep posters of everything if they're secret?
True.
And I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming that's
supposed to be the other two characters.
What?
Agent H and whoever else are the characters from International.
Oh, okay. So the agent is partner.
Yeah.
That died, supposedly.
Yeah.
Oh God, no. I think you showed me a photo that's super inappropriate to talk about, but
No, it is not inappropriate.
it is totally inappropriate.
How is that appropriate?
You want to go describe them and then I can cut it out?
I'll describe it.
God, please don't.
We're not cutting it out. There's nothing wrong
Okay.
with this picture.
Moving on.
This is one of the most highly memed photos ever. This particular depiction is constantly memed all the time.
Moving on. Transgender
Okay.
military ban was lifted by Biden.
If you think that meme was any more controversial than the stuff we've talked about last episode, you're wrong.
We're moving on.
Apparently we are. Yes.
President Joe Biden signed an executive order to repeal Trump-era ban on this crap, which was fucking ridiculous to me, honestly.
It
Jesus.
should be of note that it wasn't. I believe the more detailed description. Trump's ban wasn't fully in effect, but they were taking the steps to get it there. Mm-hmm. As a sham. But yes, Joe Biden's executive order has reversed such ideas.
Uh-huh.
Which was, I don't understand that. It was entirely unnecessary.
What?
The whole transgender ban. But to clarify more so, it wasn't necessarily a ban, but a set of restrictions that, a set of restrictions that in reality did preclude transgender people from being in the military.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean it was it was the biggest insult ever?
I didn't spoil. I said it was an unnecessary thing to do.
To what? Ban transgender?
Yes. I'm confused of why you're taking issue with what I said.
I'm just saying it's just like forget saying it's an unnecessary thing to do. I'm just saying
no,
it's
I agree.
he did it
It's
as an insult.
Yeah, it's insulting and stupid. But like even on the sense, it's unnecessary and pointless.
I guess. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
it shows the way how homophobic he is,
Yeah. To put in perspective,
or anti-LGBTQ, I should say. But Jesus,
there was about 20,000 National Guard in the Capitol.
yeah,
There's a rough estimate. Again, no one's entirely sure, but a rough estimated 15,000 service members are transgender, and it's unclear how many have had to leave the service since. There's no statistics on how many have had to leave the service since the ban, but
yeah. I guess this
hopefully
is how
we'll
he's
see
gonna.
them return to service.
This is how he's gonna make America great again by segregating, LGBTQ members and.
Well, I think it's one that I don't see why it should be something that should preclude you from serving your country.
It's not even that, man. It's just he's doing the same shit that LGBTQ community's been dealing for the rest of the years, where they're like, you're gay, you're not to do this, you are transgender, you're not to do this. It's the same, like it's the same thing that racial people experience.
I get that.
It's like angering, you know.
I understand that,
I'm about to go off.
but there's no outside of just to do it to either piss off a community or your response is, ew, I don't want them around. There's no real sense as to why to do it, is my point. Outside of either hatred or just if it's just him trying to
Maybe he's just
muster for
toxic.
was just him trying to muster for his base.
He's just trying to show the toxicity he's really at. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process behind why would anyone just ban transgender people. You know?
Yeah.
If
they're able to serve like anyone else,
yeah,
then why shouldn't they?
yeah, it's like
to serve in the military for this country is not something most people do, and if there's someone willing to do it and they're able, why shouldn't they?
it's the same bullshit that racist people that experienced many years ago, where they're like, "Yo, you're black, you can't come to like white schools." It's like schools are schools,
Right. The interesting thing
should be
is
schools.
through some source that I looked at, it having black people in the military. Obviously, there was a lot of infighting. People didn't want to work with them or push them to the front lines. But there were times throughout history where it was again, I don't know the language of the military, but I'm gonna say squadrons, but like black squadrons for like pilots or stuff like that. They did their job. They either protected a group or something like that. And there were moments where white soldiers looked at them and like, after those instances, again, not those instances, but those times, and we're like, we're not so different.
Yeah,
There's nothing to be like. They did the job. They defended us. They put their lives on the line for me. And why they look like, why am I hateful?
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. Again, it's not easy. It takes a lot to break down those barriers. And again, we're aiming toward, no racism, no hatred
It's
for
the
groups, but
it's the same scenario that people time and time again. If you read, I have this huge book of World War II stories that
Yeah.
I've read over time, right? And it's something I love to do.
yeah,
And it's time and again in this book where it's portrayed that every time when a German soldier who's too young to be recruited
Yeah.
saves a Britisher's life or saves a French life, Italian, whatever it is,
Yeah.
saves someone, their enemy's life, people in the other, other, forces,
yeah,
they start wondering that maybe we're doing something wrong.
yeah,
I mean, I guess you can see it as it was war. Yeah, we were fighting for our the fighting against Hitler and stuff. But
yeah,
it many times people get portrayed as they're monsters or whatever. The people who are you shooting at is just they're awful people
Yeah.
and they have awful agendas. No, one person has awful agenda, or maybe a couple people who's
Right.
controlling you have awful agendas. Everyone else is just a follower, and they and
I mean-
almost all of them will kindly just blatantly say yes to something,
right.
and
I
will
mean,
regret it
they
later.
they're a follower, but they're also complicit. But yeah,
Yeah,
what is it? But like you talk about that when you start to see people as just a person. I think it was World War One. The story of Christmas in the trenches,
yeah,
where soldiers, it was like a ceasefire,
Yeah.
and again, the trenches, where they actually met was miles long, obviously, and not the whole, not for the whole distance. There were shots in the night, but there were portions of them. They got out of the trenches. They sang together, told stories, shared gifts, and in the morning went back to fighting.
yeah.
Because it wasn't about hatred so much, is there was a time where people were just fighting for their countries, and at that time, Europe was just kind of geared for war.
Yeah, that and also, I mean, them sharing stories just shows how fucking out of it they were. They just didn't want to do it. They were tired of it. The people in the trenches were tired of it. Both sides were like, can we just stop this and fucking mingle? Like, they're 20 feet away. They're struggling. We're struggling. We just have something to talk about. And that's
I'm
our
not
point.
sure if that was the tone of that night, but
They're telling
it's
stories.
something to be considered.
Yeah. But it's okay. I don't expect them to talk about. I'm just stuttering over here.
Yep.
Them to talk about anything else other than the kind of shit they've been going through. Just
Yeah.
because in times of pain and suffering, you talk about pain and suffering to ease your pain.
True.
Right. Just the easiest thing that you can do to ease your pain, and the point we're trying to make is no matter how different it is, we're all suffering and we're all going through pain, but we're all people.
Yeah.
Everyone is a human being.
Right.
I hate to be in a society where a fucking bird is
Yeah.
like okay with being another species bird, where we can't be okay with our own kind.
Yeah.
We're still struggling to accept people of our own species, just because the gender they've chosen or their race,
Well-
shit like that.
Of their race or gender. I wouldn't say gender they've chosen, but
Oh, okay, yeah, but
yeah.
gender they born with or they're comfortable to.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
it's just shit.
Yeah.
It's all shit.
just I know it's not where you're going, but just to kind of dig on something you said, everyone's going through shit,
Yeah.
and that is a thing. But there's
Okay.
a time when that what?
Some people are going through a lot more shit than others.
No, hold on. That's kind of where I'm going to go on. Everyone's going through shit, and a lot of times there's certain people that take this as a perspective of shut up about your problems.
Yeah.
Everyone's going through shit. There's people that have it worse than you do.
Yeah.
And there was not a story, but an anecdote someone brought up as to why that's a stupid idea, right? Say there's two neighbors, right? And I was talking to my neighbor one day, and he was, say he went to Iraq, right? And he's talking about, oh, I have to deal with he lost a leg, an IED went off, he lost his right leg, yep. And he's like, I'll have to go through. And I said, hey, stop complaining, you lost your leg, so what? Dave, your neighbor, he got hit by an IED. He lost both legs. He has it worse than you do. Just because the other guy lost 2 legs doesn't discount the fact that our first guy also didn't lose 2 legs, but he still lost a leg. It doesn't discount that you're still going through shit. Yeah, people have it worse, but in the moment, you are dealing with what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
And just because other people have it worse doesn't discredit the shit you're going through.
Yeah. It's yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. And again, this is not a you. It's just one of those things like
No,
I like to bring up
agree.
the same way we've talked about like people that say if you don't like it, if you don't like the country, leave. It's one of those sayings that just feels
it's
very
that
easy
pathetic,
to
like quitter saying.
yeah. It's one of those sayings that seems it's very easy to just talk through and see why it's wrong, but it's so commonly said.
And when I said like we were all experiencing the same shit,
Yeah.
like we're all in pain, I meant this saying like, yeah, we're all the same people, right? Like, believe me, even if someone's going through more pain, less pain,
Yeah.
we're all going through pain. We all have our problems. We're all people.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. I just felt like it was a good time to introduce that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That's a very good point because
When the show gets more refined, this will probably be a segment
Yeah.
of me dissecting these one-off sentences
yeah,
that are just complete bullshit that are constantly being used.
yeah.
So,
But it's just shit time to be around, honestly. Okay,
Yeah.
I can say that it's better to be better being like better than if we were in 1980s or something.
True.
Because there's a lot more people like okay with forgiving to racial
Whatever,
or
yeah.
whatever, just minority people.
yeah,
And there's a lot more acceptance
there is.
compared to what it was back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
But still, there's more. We have to do more to kind of
There's
get
more
to that.
acceptance. I think the other thing is with news and media in general, the fact that there's so much out there, I think, and also now we're a lot more aware of all the problems and aware of what's wrong. And I think in some cases things haven't changed
Yeah.
or gone, like some things have gone worse for like certain things. And I'm not sure what exactly, but things have gotten worse. But I think some people think things haven't gone worse. I think they've just gotten visible. Do you know what I mean? We're seeing them now. It's not.
They've just been buried on with more.
Yeah, we see more. We see the violence. It's like it's part of the reason actually. If you go back to like why the Vietnam War was so heavily protested, it's because in that time period is the first time we're seeing the war. You're hearing about it. There's actually more of a visual as to why people are so attacked with it, and that's the thing now. People are seeing things. They're able to see the violence and the problems in the world, and that's kind of why everything feels like it's changed. It hasn't. It's just more visible.
Yeah. And a lot of people do this where they go like, oh, you look at these people, they're making a fuss and they're making a big deal out of something's not. No, they're trying to talk about the problems they've been dealing with for years. They're not
Exactly.
making a fuss. You've just been blind like a fucker,
Right.
not being able to notice their problems. A lot of people just go, well, if it doesn't bother me, I don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right? That's a pretty shitty issue on the world.
Yeah.
If just because it doesn't bother you, it doesn't mean it's not going to
Right.
bother you later.
Yeah.
So maybe you should take a more concise and wider look into what the problem is.
Right. It kind of reminds me of people talk about when we say like right now, and this is where even the media is kind of using this term more is systemic racism within the country, and a lot of the older generations will constantly say, "Well, I don't see the racism." And one of the best analogies I saw for that, or I heard, I love this one. It works really well. If I show you a cake. And I say, okay, there are 3 eggs in this cake. At no point, just by looking at it, can you say can you confirm there are eggs in there?
Yeah.
It's like, well, and I say, can you see the eggs? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, they're baked in. They're there. They're there. We can't see them, but they are. And it's the same thing. The racism is there. It's the point is, it's systemic. It's just built. It's into this. It's ingrained in the system. You don't notice it because it's been there for so long.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's like that with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
It's just ingrained within the culture.
And nowadays more than ever, excuse me,
Take the time to burp.
things are visible.
Yeah.
So
Is it weird to, okay, I might be like just blowing on shit over here.
Okay.
But more often than not, it feels like a lot of South American people, not like South America,
Yeah.
like South American states.
The South. You
The
refer
South.
to as the South.
We refer to as the South, the southern states.
Yes,
I should
southern
say,
states.
seem more racist than others. they just have a lot more Confederate ideas and racist ideas ingrained within them than other states.
Again, I think it has to go back to the Civil War, and part of it is older generations are constantly, you know, sharing their their opinions, their views, and that gets ingrained into the next generation and the next generation.
It's not even that. It's that it's I'm trying to process.
If you live with somebody who has a certain viewpoint or as a way of doing things, if you live with a racist family member, that to some level, depending on the rest of your life, that's gonna make an imprint on you. Whether it's supporting those ideas or absolutely disagreeing and loathing that person. But likely to be one of those. Or a third option or fourth or fifth that I have not thought of.
So here's my point, right?
Yeah.
And why I think that could be why a lot of southern states are racial. And that's because a lot of old people, have these Confederate and racist ideas.
Right.
And they have a place where they can talk about it. They can share and agree to each other's opinions, which makes them stronger.
Of course.
And I'm not saying it has to be a religious thing, but there's religious communions and Christian communions where people communities, sorry, not communions, where people
communion's a ceremony.
Sorry, communities where people get together and they talk about stuff and they agree and it's just like places where there's clubs and now there's organizations and places where they can.
That's always been a thing. And I think it goes down to like the very the makeup and the way life is structured in the country, like northern states versus the South, is the very reason as to why the South needed slave labor, the North didn't as much, so to speak, and how that sort of started. And again, that's been perpetual up till now. Mm-hmm. So
it's garbage to like. It's just toxic to like have that kind of view on the world. You know what I mean?
What view exactly?
That your life is better than someone else's.
Oh no, I don't disagree, but it's there, and honestly, those people aren't going away.
Yeah,
we just gotta hope the next generation learns
Ain't
better.
Ain't gonna be better.
What?
It's just not gonna be that any better. You hope for
I
it.
don't think it'll get better. I'm hoping it gets better a little bit. I don't think I don't believe that the country or even the world, particularly the country, is going to be where I would like it to be by the time I die. Mm-hmm. That said, and separate from all, like, again, because I know we've talked about if you don't like something, the whole concept of being stupid, that if you don't like it, leave. Separate from everything else, just kind of point out there, I've considered moving to a different country. Mm-hmm. There's a few. There's literally a handful of things holding me back. I think right now it amounts to a handful of people.
Yeah.
In my coffee shop.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, I understand.
And after that, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love America, and for my other reasons,
it's
I'm
good to be
considering
here.
going other places. It's good to be here.
But it's a shitty place a little bit.
It's not that. I think there's just other things I'd want to be in a different country. But
no, it's
possibly.
Well, you didn't let me finish. I said
yeah.
It's shitty place to be here because the way people see the world.
Yeah.
It's very restrictive. Mm-hmm. It's not. People are not as broad seeing as a lot of countries.
True.
I would have gladly grew up in Britain because they have amazing philosophies and shit.
Yeah.
Like they've engraved their war philosophies that people have learned from World War II, World War One into the generation now, which is amazing.
Yeah. See, there's a degree to which I'm envious of you because when you travel, you don't unless someone really talks to you for a little while or something. You don't carry the mark of, ooh, there's an American.
Wait, what? Say that again?
You don't immediately have the look to get judged as, oh, that's an American.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm minority. Yeah, it's a little different. But
I know.
if you're like if you have white skin, then it's a little different situation
Right.
for you.
Yeah. I mean, you're traveling Europe. It's either or, but still,
You could be Drew
you
Goodman,
miss
who's
enough mannerisms and language. It's there.
yeah, you could be Drew Goodman, who's white, but then he still consistently talks about how he's a black, uh, LGBTQ member. So
Is
not
Drew
kidding.
Goodman your OC,
Would OC?
original character? I don't know,
No.
because you went by Drew, for a while.
What's his name? I forget his name. The senator that Seth Rogen. I could
What?
have gotten the name completely wrong. It's probably not Drew Goodman.
Okay.
Seth Rogen tweets whatever. Help me look it up.
I don't know what you're looking up though.
There's only one thing that Seth Rogen talked about, and it was why. What? I hate my computer. I hate my computer. He was talking about Ted Cruz. So
Okay.
it was pretty. I forget. Let me go to replies. And that might. Dean Browning. Sorry, Drew Goodman. Jesus Christ. Dean Browning.
Okay.
And he said, okay, he changed the tweet, but for obvious reasons.
Okay.
This guy's just nasty. Let me look it up. I don't want to speak out of my mouth. I could be completely wrong, everybody. All right. I hashtag hate my computer.
Okay, good for you. Or well, that sucks.
Why does my N not work? I hate my N. I forget. He says, now go back to pretending to be a gay black man. And shut the fuck up.
Interesting.
His full tweet. Well, here's how it goes. I think there was a back and forth between Dean Browning and Seth Rogen, but Seth goes, I live in America, you stupid fuck. And says, interesting, so you consider yourself American? In that case, Ted Cruz is not American. Real stepping in at Sethy. And he goes, and Seth Rogen goes, I have an American passport. I vote in America, and I'm an American citizen, so you fucking clown. Now go back to pretending you're a gay black man. Shut the fuck up.
I missed the first half of that. Say it again. Or let me read it.
I'll just let you read it. I'm not going to re-say it, but
Okay, well,
it's just dumb. Like, there's people like these who exist. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just taking Seth's word on it. I have heard about this issue for a long while. I just couldn't remember the name. And I just overlooked it, just like everyone else, because I was like, it just seems real boring. Back then it was boring to me, but it seemed like a pretty pressing issue.
okay. And what is this whole shit about?
I think it's, Seth Rogen is bad-mouthing Ted Cruz.
Okay, but that seems fair. It's
Yeah.
Ted Cruz,
Yeah.
so
He basically started by saying that Ted Cruz, you basically. Let me go back to his Twitter. He basically said that the blood of people who you encourage to go to raid the Capitol is on your
Yeah.
hands. And,
I'd agree with that.
he said
I have no love for Ted Cruz. That should be said.
Here's the conversation. Ted Cruz goes, all jokes aside, Seth Rogen is a moron. It's your party that believes that the government's power to shut your business, to oppress your faith, to censor your speech. I do agree with your first part, Ted, but not the other. Anyone who disagrees, they can try to cancel. By the way, a lot of folks in Hollywood are conservative and muzzled by the fascist left. Okay. And Seth goes, your lies got people killed. You have blood on your hands. And then I'm assuming the back and forth continues.
Yeah,
Which I agree with Seth.
true.
Okay,
Because right now, Cruz is just trying to backtrack at this
yeah,
point.
I am a
Nope.
part liberal, so I am like a little bit agreeing to some part of Ted Cruz where the government does try to force shut down. The fuck am I trying to say?
What?
businesses and stuff like that. Which
How so?
I don't know.
You
Okay,
believe, but you're not sure how. So I'm asking for clarification.
let me process quickly
Okay.
and think about what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Because first of all, government does try to meddle in businesses. It's a constant problem.
It does try to meddle in businesses. Usually, more often than not, for protection, for protections, for harmful materials for people or just for nature.
Yes.
Other stuff to the point out to the corporations shouldn't be people and so on, all this other stuff. What restrictions are you referring to that you're against or that you don't like or that you've heard of that I'm not thinking of at the moment?
None that I can recall right now, which is why I don't strongly believe in this idea. But
Okay.
then again, I just have to follow the liberalism a little bit.
Okay. I wouldn't call it liberalism. I think it's just you make your... See, to me, I'd always be an independent. Just, make your own views on things. So for everything, there's a different... Excuse me. I don't know why I keep doing that.
What, the burpiness?
Yeah. So, as in, for everything, you come up with your own opinion based on, information. One way or the other. And I have no problem ever saying, I don't know, or I haven't come to a conclusion on my opinion or belief on whatever such thing.
I mean, I just gotta follow Ron Swanson. It's kind of my inspiration, so if he says something, I go.
Okay.
Nah, I'll try to
certainly
look
an
more
option.
into it. Which is why I back down. I don't know the proper.
And again, I'm not trying to attack. I'm just asking for clarification.
No, I know, and which is why I agree.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm saying, I'm gonna back down and say I don't agree with it.
Yeah. That was
So-
one of my favorite things to come out of high school English class, the Socratic method, along with the other resources I had, was this, if you want to understand anyone's point of view, just keep asking them questions, and then once they've said something as well, ask for clarification. So, like, say you have an opinion on something, and you kind of tell me what you believe.
Yeah.
My role then, so I know, make sure we have the same information, is to repeat what I think I was told back to you, and make sure I understand what you're saying properly. And I find when you question someone enough, and not to be mean, but actually question their views, they will either give you enough information to bolster their viewpoint, in which case you'll come to agree with them, or they'll start to realize, oh, maybe I don't have all the information, or their point of view isn't as weak. And again, this is not like just you. This is just
Like the only
good way to talk to people.
anti-capitalistic idea that I can think of is that doesn't work with FD and shit like that is where government deals with capitalism is they try to basically say that your establishment can't do this, or basically your establishment can't be a park or can't be allowed this kind of age of kids because said factor, right?
right. And again, I don't know the specifics, but I want to go through each one of those and figure out what is the government's reason, and then see is that actually a good reason that should stand up.
I mean,
Because I'd imagine for that and just a bunch of other stuff in the government, there's a lot of stuff like laws and just rulings out there
yeah,
that are either don't no longer apply,
okay,
or I know there's like certain states have laws that technically they're still on the books, but they're either not followed anymore or they're overturned
okay.
by new stuff. So yeah, I'd see what's the reasoning or what was the reasoning for stuff that's older. I'm always curious.
I mean, we do have to take a break, but
Yes.
I'll cover it a little bit. So here's my idea. Let's just say if Chuck E. Cheese wanted to, control a piece of land,
Yeah.
right, and working under a business, saying like, if you want to say to enter this land, you have to pay Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Government says you can't do that because your company is entitled under a restaurant chain, which means you can only own property that basically will be ended up being. Take a step back.
Okay, but
Rephrase it.
But aren't there then processes for that company to make changes to their description and such to file for whatever forms and so on to be able to own property in that context?
Wait, say that again?
Context. Right. If something's if a company is filed as a restaurant, then they have limitations as to what they can do because they're a restaurant.
Exactly, but that's what I'm
if
saying.
you're retail or if you're a service industry.
Yeah, but in liberal belief, they shouldn't be able to do that. Because if a restaurant chain wants to own a piece of land saying yeah, if you come on this land, you have to pay us now $20.
Okay.
That's capitalism. That is sure pure capitalism. And now restricting that is restricting capitalistic ideas, saying like,
Okay.
now you can't own this land because you're a restaurant, and
Right.
the restaurant, if you own a land, you basically have to open a restaurant there, or you have to store stuff. You can't be anything else.
Okay. Is okay.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to
But
say.
but is capitalism on a whole a good thing?
Yes,
Essentially the question.
it's without capitalism, you wouldn't have businesses. Without capitalism, you wouldn't have so many food chains. It would be basically a sheer fucking uh, restrictive system where it's like the government going, okay, so if you want to have a business idea, you come to me, and then I'll let you know if you can open this or not. In capitalism, a person can say, I want to open a business. I will submit my papers to said government, and then I will open it.
Okay.
Because most likely, if they're in their health code, if they're in their health codes and if they're within this, safety of people, then they can open things. But now it's more become like, no, we're gonna decide if you can open a business or not because we need to know if we like your idea, or just basic constructive restrictions. You know,
Okay.
like they make up shit to restrict your business, and that's anti-capitalistic.
I feel like we should do a deep dive on this.
On the
As
anti-capitalistic
for
ideas.
not anti-capitalistic ideas, but it's exactly what restrictions there are
Well, we have to
and why
take
they're
a
bad, or
deeper
what
look
companies
at
have actually fought against these restrictions or took issue with them.
Well, what about the land issue? I mean, would you think, just straight up, like that's a very common liberal.
So I own a restaurant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you want to own a piece of land, saying if you
And
trespass,
as
this
my
land-
restaurant company wants to own an extra piece or has part of the owns part of the land,
Yeah.
then what?
like
What are you saying?
you own a 28-acre land, right? Okay, that's
Okay, why? I'm not sure why a restaurant needs to own 28 acres.
just hold it up.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And if your restaurant chain wants to open a park or whatever it is,
Yeah.
to use the park, to use the rides in the park, you would have to pay a certain amount of money, like Disney World, stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? Was a little different Disney World because they're privatized business,
Yeah.
where in restaurants it's more government permissioned, right? You have to let a government kind of in on the business, saying, okay, you have to tax us, you have to basically let us check your health code violations. We'll check if the business is doing good.
Yes,
and
up
if
to
everything's
code, so it's for public
Yeah.
safety reasons.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right, and if
Other
the restaurant wanted to open a theme park attachment,
yeah,
then they could probably still do so, but under new filings.
exactly. But that's restrictive capitalism.
I'm not sure how that's restrictive if it's simply there's more paperwork involved
No, you
and
just.
there's requirements to be met to do so.
I'm saying
And what
they
way
just
you
can't do
for the
that.
safety.
They have to open a separate business to do that. Like,
But they can do it just because it's a separate business.
but
Or
that's
if
not.
it's the same business being refiled, doesn't mean they can't do it.
Yeah, but that's anti-capitalistic. That's what I'm trying to say. That's not a capitalist. If in capitalism, if your business wants to branch out into different things, you should be able to do it unless it's privatized, right? That's what I'm saying,
Okay.
and that's what restrictive ideas are.
All right, but here's the
That's
thing.
the only
though.
one that I know so much about.
All right.
Yeah,
Except you keep calling it a leftist idea, and most of the left is not overly fond of capitalism.
who said left is not fond of capitalism?
Most people I hear from on the left.
Liberal.
Again, I'm sure there are.
I
out
am
there.
okay. I know several liberals who are like fucking pro-liberals.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, my friend Jamie from college. We don't talk anymore, but he's sheer fucking liberal.
Yeah.
Pro-capitalism. I think the idea of liberal. Okay, I'm not quite sure about this. I might be speaking out of my ass, but to my knowledge, every liberal I met is pro-capitalistic.
Right. There's a lot of people. There's quite a few number of people out there who leaned liberal or leaned left for social ideas, but lean right when it comes to the economy.
It's not generally
capitalism.
true. I think you mean
There is a
conservative.
conservative.
Yeah, I'm talking about liberalism. It's a little different.
No, I'm talking about people. I'm not talking about conservatives. I'm talking about people who are usually liberal, or, are left or liberal. Who them being left more so relates to social issues and stuff like that. but their views on the economy or capitalism lean more conservative.
Not always.
I'm not saying always, but that is the case for groups of people, for
Sure, yeah.
a portion of the left, or of who I guess you could call the left out there.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I'm just pointing that out.
I guess, yeah, but
And these could be the people you're referring to.
what, that they're conservative?
I'm not saying they're conservative, but I'm saying
Their economic ideas are conservative?
Yes.
No, okay. I'm pretty sure when you're conservative, you hate the idea of capitalism. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're wrong. Most people on the right, conservatives, Republicans, like capitalism, want government to be less restrictive on it. Those are more conservative Republican ideas.
Hold up.
On the right.
My spacebar worked.
I don't know how you got this so mixed up. Again, I'm not sure trying to throw hate to either side, but those tend to be the norms. Most of the left is not overly fond of capitalism.
Well, I guess I can't look this up.
Sometimes lean, pro-capitalism, which tends to be more of a conservative view. Take my word for it, okay? You're wrong on this one. You just got confused, that's all.
I don't take anyone's word for anything. You know this. Unless I'm proved by a source, I don't take anyone's word for here do. I don't care how...
You've had this one wrong. I'm not sure how you do.
I'm not saying I am right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just looking it up for sake.
Okay, I know you are.
Yeah.
You really need to get a new computer.
You mean a keyboard? If I got a new keyboard, you know it's going to be
keyboard.
pushed like all the way out there.
Or a new keyboard.
Yeah. There's a reason I used the old one. Because this
Yeah.
one has so many problems.
Yeah. What would it take to get this one fixed?
It probably costs more than getting a new keyboard.
Okay.
I mean, you have shipping alone would cost more than getting a new keyboard. So
Okay.
let me just give me a second. Are liberals anti-capitalistic? I can't.
Not inherently, but there's plenty of people on the left that are anti-capitalist.
Well, that's your suggestion, isn't it? I mean, that's basically what she said. Democrats basically pro-capitalism.
I did not say Democrats are pro or anti-capitalist. I said generally the left, not Democrats. The left, people on the left tend to be anti-capitalism.
Yeah, this is the dead air. What? Should we take a break? It's an hour and 17 minutes. We're going to take a break.
Let's just keep going.
We need to take a break. It's our sponsor.
Sure.
We can't just not do our sponsor because they pay us. So we're going to be back and we're going to give it up to our sponsor thank you for sponsoring us today. It's going to be Anchor. Let's give it up for Anchor for sponsors. Thank you very much. All right, we're back. We're back. I got some tea. I got more tea, and then Nick saw my tea and wanted more tea. But even though I asked him to get some tea, and he was like, "No, don't take the tea. It's my second cup."
It's my tea. That's your second cup.
No, that is my second cup.
This is my tea.
No, don't take the tea. We're gonna have to make more if you're gonna want more tea.
How much tea could you possibly drink?
A lot.
True, so could I.
I drink like 12
Fine.
ounces of a jug, so it's
Fine, keep your tea.
shit. I don't want to spill it.
Don't put it on my cord.
Oh, sorry.
Move.
Yeah, I'll put it.
How
I'll put it.
dare you?
There go. Damn it. Okay, we're back.
Watch where you put your tea.
We decided we're done with politics because I'm feeling toxic. And
Devesh is realizing he's a little he's conservative on some things.
okay, I should say I was wrong. So I'm learning that I might actually have some conservative tendencies. So
When it comes to economy, I can see that.
yeah, which I
And
kind of
makes sense.
I told you I kind of regret it, but then at the same time I don't, because I don't like to pick a side and stick with it at the same time.
Okay. We shouldn't really call it picking outside. It's like what's considered again, because there's 6 terms and they're constantly conflated. But on one side you have the terms Republican, conservative,
Yep.
and right or the right, compared to when you have the left, liberal, and Democrat. All 6 of these terms are entirely separate and all have a slightly different meaning. Obviously, Democrat and Republican a little more of a stronger, obviously,
Okay.
representation,
That-
and do refer to.
That made more sense because I
Two
thought
sides.
liberalism was a separate party.
No, you're thinking of libertarian.
That's what I'm thinking of.
So understand, Democrat and Republican are parties. there's left and right, the ideals, and there's liberal and conservative, or progressive and conservative.
I'm just gonna hand you my resignation from politics right here, just because I thought liberalism was another party that I thought liberalism was same as libertarianism.
It's whatever.
Oh, for fuck's
You
sake!
think a libertarian?
Jesus. Okay, done with politics. Enough of that.
Okay.
Christ, let's talk about COVID.
Oh, okay.
Another pressing matter.
Yeah. Pressing or depressing?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Pressing and depressing.
Very true.
So I just saw an article that said that Anthony Fauci, aka Dr. Fauci,
Yes.
says that it's common sense to wear 2 masks than one.
As of now, with the new strain out, yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I agree with them because it provides more protection. 100% protection, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you have 2 layers. You got to let me explain about what 2 layers he's talking about. So
Yeah.
in the article, it said a cloth mask on top of a surgical mask.
Yes.
Now, if you don't have a surgical mask, that's fine. You can just double layer cloth, put like one thick layer cloth on top of another. Now just fold the cloth.
See, I've considered, because I don't like the surgical masks, I find them uncomfortable, is getting a stash of surgical masks and making new homemade masks and just sewing the surgical mask into the cloth mask.
Do you just want to get the razor
Inside
masks?
it. What?
Look up the razor mask.
Okay.
So the company Razer, which with the headphones we're using for it,
Yes.
made a mask, and it
Oh,
has a
God.
speaker and a RGB system.
Are you...
It has the RGB system on its filter. It looks super dope, but I don't think it's gonna work as a practical mask.
Okay, here it... All right. This is this... Okay, I have one that's just that. Okay, this looks absurd.
I know.
It's with like the plastic or glass panel on it.
It's a gas mask, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, but minus
So-
the face covering.
This actually looks kind of cool. I gotta be honest.
It looks dope, but I don't
For
think it's gonna work.
aesthetic alone, I could see it. They do actually sell a cloth mask.
Yeah, they do, but I don't
Which-
think you're gonna find them anywhere.
Yeah.
But these looks fucking dope, doc. They have a speaker on one side and then a filter on the
Yeah.
another, and both RGB.
Right. So unnecessary.
And it goes over the nose as well, so it has apparently has rubber nose wrap.
Yeah.
So it perfectly contours to your nose, so you don't
Nice.
get any. Especially for me, you don't get any fogging in your glasses and stuff like that.
That's important.
Yeah, it's important when I drive, and I'm like pulling into the into my college, and I have to wear a mask, and I
Yeah.
can't see the road because it's just fogging up like shit.
Yeah. See, I had this idea that I was gonna buy the anti-blue light glasses for gaming, and because my job has me looking at a screen
Yeah,
for long periods of time, I'm like, oh, this we're gonna wear these. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I have to wear a mask.
yeah,
They're gonna fog up immediately. So
yeah.
probably use it after COVID. So I'm thinking that'll be what, in the next year or two,
I mean,
if I'm still there and if I remember it all.
there's ways you can not fog up your glasses. You just have to apply enough pressure from your glasses
True,
to on your nose mask, so it
Yes.
just blocks out all air coming out.
of course.
But then again, it's still a really pain to deal with. I don't know. I would just say like carry like a blue filter.
Yeah.
With you in your pocket and just put it on a screen whenever
See,
you go.
now what I could do, I know downstairs we have one of those painter masks with a respirator in it. Could just go full out.
Just go on a full gas mask, you know?
Oh yeah, go to the Army surplus store.
Yeah.
Get myself a World War II gas mask.
What's that? The game that Eric used to play, which had like it was like a 3D third person, and it was like super big, where the guy wore a gas mask all the time. God, I don't remember.
Destiny? Wait, no.
It started with a D. I don't remember too much though.
Division.
Division. That was the game.
Yeah.
Just wear one of those masks, like full face mask.
That feels unnecessary
Yeah.
and would also feel like would freak out customers.
Sir, why are you wearing that? Don't worry, I'm just afraid of getting.
Just precautions.
Yeah, just precautions. You know, don't wanna die out of
Yeah.
a viral outbreak.
Well, one of the people that came in had a full on like head covering
Yeah.
with like I don't know if it was a respirator or just like breathing system like on his belt,
Like
like
a
a fanny
tank?
pack. Yeah.
Yeah, an oxygen tank or something.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Got intense.
Maybe he has
This one
breathing
guy that
problem.
comes in like full mask I think with a bandana on it, and then he wears like safety goggles as well with gloves. It's odd.
I mean, that's fine.
It seems a bit much.
I've seen people wear goggles, mate, with like the breathing goggles that you buy at like swim stores,
No.
like the one that cover your nose.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Like I've
No,
seen
I'm
people
talking about
wear
like
those.
wood shop safety goggles.
What do you mean?
Like remember back to like science class chemistry, the goggles that like stick out a little bit.
Oh, those.
Like those.
Like
yeah.
chemistry goggles.
Yeah, basically.
Oh man, tea delish.
That just shows you what kind of person Devesh is, where I have to say chemistry goggles and not wood shop safety glasses.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I have the experience of both, but that's
Yeah.
it's just what you remember. So that's fair.
yeah. Trust
I did
me,
not like
if
my chemistry teacher.
If my downstairs wood shop was working, I would have said like wood shop glasses, but
Yeah.
it's not. It's not operational right now because I have cut something in half that I shouldn't have.
Oh,
Hashtag an iron table.
how?
I'll tell you this story. I have this pull down saw,
Yeah.
right? So it's like a table saw where you pull down to cut something.
Right.
And I was only supposed to do like a little bit, cutting wood.
Yeah.
And I kind of got lost in my thought, and I just pulled the whole saw down, and I sawed the table in half.
You saw a metal table.
Yeah,
Are you sure it was actually metal?
yeah. It's
That doesn't
it's an
sound like-
iron table. It's iron.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a metal table.
You sawed through the whole thing or part of it?
No, just like so. Think of like this is the saw. My
Yeah.
laptop is the saw.
Yeah.
It's like a rectangular saw, and I have this. My screen is like the actual saw. So instead of doing like this, a little bit, I sawed the whole thing.
No, I understand that.
Pressed it all the way down. So it's a hole in there now, and I don't want to go in there right now because
That's why you're usually supposed to put your item on a wood. Just put a block of wood underneath it so you don't go all the way through.
What?
That's why you're supposed to have a piece of wood underneath whatever you're cutting, so that you don't cut into the table
No, this
that
is
you're
a
on.
pull down saw.
I know
A
that.
piece of wood wouldn't have helped. Plus, it would have made the whole thing. Think of it like this: it's on a square by square rectangular rig,
Okay.
and you just pull the whole saw down.
Aren't pull-down saws supposed to actually have a slot for the saw to go to once you cut through your item, though?
They should, but I have like a detachable one.
Okay, that's
That-
weird.
Yeah,
Again, you still should have had something, or just should have been more careful.
yeah. I'm not saying it's not my fault. It's just
Yeah.
not usable right now
Okay.
because that's where I do most of my wood cutting. and
Why
stuff
can't you still use it even if there's a hole in it?
I just don't want to go down there.
Okay.
It's like looking at you. Have you ever gone into the bathroom after you puked? Like, it's like you want it's fine. It's like flushed and everything and everything's clean, but at the same time you've just
Literally
vomited.
never had that.
Really, I don't like to go into the bathroom at least for like a couple hours after I've vomited, just because I just think of it like a disaster happened in there.
Never had that thought at all.
I guess just me, but yeah, I have this weird thing. I'll probably go back in and do some work afterwards.
All right.
I have half of a canoe built. Actually, a quarter.
A canoe?
Yeah.
Are we
It's
going
small canoe? It's not
What?
two size.
You and I need to go canoeing at some point.
Yes. Like deep sea canoeing or just straight
What?
up canoeing?
Straight up canoeing. I mean, it's deep sea kayaking. You don't deep sea
Kayaking,
canoe.
sorry.
No, I don't like kayaks. I'm not.
We'll go down like a
I don't find kayaks are not comfortable for me. I prefer canoes.
you do like a two-way canoe?
I mean, a two-person canoe.
Yeah.
What's a
call it-
two-way canoe?
Just like, back and forth.
All canoes are two-way for the pretty much. Dude,
I've seen one-way canoes. I don't know. I mean it's not I guess what are you trying to
there's
say?
a
is that-
front and back, but
yeah, there's an average canoe is like two people.
yeah,
But I've seen like one people canoe. Well, mostly at one camp that I
a
went to.
one-person canoe. That doesn't mean it can't go both ways. Usually, there's also three-person canoes as well.
That's like an orgy right there. You don't want to go
Stop.
in those.
No, back in Boy Scouts, we worked with canoes, and
Right, you worked with canoes. Wink, wink.
no, I mean no, we went on a canoe trip.
Okay.
I don't remember the name of the. It might have been one of the. I don't remember the name of the river, but we went on a trip, which was fun. We actually at one point got to the middle of the lake or middle of the river,
Yep.
and went through canoe procedures. What to do if you like. Make sure you keep steady. Changing positions in a canoe with somebody, so then, but make sure not when you fall over.
Yeah.
And for all the stuff we did, and like some of it was actually we played like a game with them. Kind of a few times we got rammed and the sticks, whatever. But it worked out, and we spent a whole day doing this. We were there out for hours, there and back again, right?
Okay.
And as we're coming back, the person I was with in the canoe with, Adam, decides. He already got out of the canoe, right?
Yeah.
And one of the scoutmasters is holding the canoe so I can get out because I'm on the far end, right?
Yeah.
We're in like 2 feet of water.
Yeah.
Okay, he's holding the canoe. We have done this for hours. Like I
Yeah.
said, we have switched positions in the canoe,
Yeah.
which basically means crawling over each other
Yeah.
in the middle of the water. No problems for the whole day, right?
Yeah.
Skymaster's holding it. Adam got out of the boat. Out of the canoe. He should be done. No, what's he doing? He's talking to the Scoutmaster, distracting him. He loosens his grip as I start to move. Me and my bag go into the water. But before that happens, like starts to tip, and I slam my hand into the water, and it's the thing slowly teetering, like
Yeah.
kind of taking a little water.
Yeah.
I'm pushing on the ground. I'm like on the riverbed, trying to push the canoe back the other way.
Yeah.
And I keep trying to keep pushing and pushing, till finally I get dumped into the water.
Uh-huh.
All day we've been doing this. We've been doing riskier moves, and I get tipped out of the canoe in 2 feet of water because this bitch can't keep his mouth shut for 2 minutes while I get out of the canoe.
He just really needed to have that conversation.
No, he didn't. The other thing is,
my
there's no
goodness.
place to change. We're in a field. I had to do it in the back of someone's car. It's like, are you serious? All this time, we've had no problems, and this is the shit. And to this day, he's like, "No, it's not my fault." I'm like, "Yes, it is, you fucker."
It's not my fault. I totally didn't do anything at all. Just talk to the instructor. Oh man.
Yeah. But it was a very fun experience, and I do want to do it again.
We should. We should plan it out though.
Yes.
I'm about to explode out of excitement.
Why is that?
Because I doubt I phrased that really badly. What I meant to say was I'm just stretched out and my body's feeling loose, so I'm just gonna explode out of feeling so nice.
Okay.
You ever get that? You know when you stretch and you feel super loose at the moment, you just want to achieve the world, but then you kind of turn back to your position and that feeling's gone. And you're like, shit, now I've lost it.
Not really.
Really?
Really.
You know what I'm realizing? I have a lot of one-man experiences that I shouldn't really do it again.
What does that mean?
I have these really one-man experiences that nobody ever experienced.
Okay. Maybe you just haven't found the right people that have also experienced them.
I don't know, just stretching. I just stretch quite a bit through the day, especially when I'm sitting on the chair. A couple hours go by and I'm just stretching. And there's this nice warm feeling when you get, or just really loosening feeling when you stretch properly and you're just like, yes,
Yeah.
I can fucking do a marathon now. And then you kind of turn back and you go back to your comfortable position and that feeling goes away and you're like, fuck, now I can't do it again.
I don't think I've really had that.
I do, man. Every time I do it. Every time I do it.
Okay.
Oh, man. All right, where were we? COVID talk. Is there anything else to cover on COVID?
Probably, but let's be honest. Anyone looking for information can do better just looking at the news.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a second strain now, but this vaccine's coming out and it's just kind of getting COVID's just kind of getting not that important anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, once that vaccine comes out, it's just going to be like a free situation. Nick's stepping away. Nick's going to step away for a little bit.
Nick is getting a call.
Okay, Nick's going to call. He's going to step away. I'm going to keep talking, though. I'm going to... oh, my God, you almost just knocked over the cups.
No such thing at all.
You did! I might have pushed. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm watching some memes. I'm on the meme page. And I'm going to tell you some memes. No, I'm kidding. JK, guys, I'm not going to read you some memes. Let's talk about what I've been doing lately. So I just got my new computer built. It's fantastic. It's been running for a couple of days. It's really good. Before I had this laptop that I'm using right now, which is it had the 960M from GeForce GTX. So it's like a really old graphics card, and I was running on a old generation Intel, which was an i7. Well, okay. For people who are like confused by how Intel works, there's always generation 10, generation 9, 7, stuff like that. I don't know what generation my Intel core is from. It's probably pretty old, and my computer was just not built for the newer games. So I finally finished my new computer, which it's pretty fucking good. I get like 144 FPS on these new games. It's extra. It's more than I've ever needed. It's cool as frick. I've been playing Doom a lot. I've been playing GTA. Nick's getting back to his chair. I've been playing a little bit of GTA. A little bit doing some missions online. But I've been mostly. Well, what are we doing? You can just cough. We'll cut it out. That's the COVID in Nick.
Oh God.
Do you mind?
I'm sorry. Let me just go die in the corner.
I gotta cut all this out.
I'm dying, so apparently Devesh is going to finish the podcast.
No, get back on. We gotta do this. What are the games I've been playing? I'm playing No Man's Sky a little bit, but I haven't got too much onto there.
Never mind that. Good news, everybody. I postponed my death till 5 minutes after the podcast, which means you can do all the editing.
Sounds cool. What else have I been playing? Just nothing garbage lately. Like Doom has been the only game I've been enjoying quite a bit. I've started playing Red Dead again.
Yeah.
But not too much of it because I've been wanting to finish Doom.
Yeah.
Doom's fucking great, honestly.
Yeah. The only game I've really been playing right now lately is just because I haven't had a lot of time to play games. Has been Call of Duty,
Okay, we're not
and it's just been a de-stressor.
going there. We're gonna stop right there at Call
Yes,
of Duty.
Devesh doesn't like the game anymore, which is understandable.
If they put some effort behind it, I would play it more and enjoy it. But they just made this fucking unfinished game which has like no potential of playing anymore.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, what am I playing for in that game? Before it was like leveling up,
Yeah.
and before that it was camos. But now I have no fucking clue what I'm playing for. Okay.
Why did you did all your camos and stuff and all that?
No, camos I try hard, first of all. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to go bitch around for like a half an hour to get 3 camos, right? I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
It's not worth it. I'm not going to camp for 20 minutes in a corner to get one of the camos, which is like, oh, you need to get someone in the back with a shotgun. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. See, for me at this point, it's just a de-stressor after work.
It doesn't.
I'm not
distress
using
me
it as like a
anymore.
game or anything like that. Just that's what it is for me.
It doesn't fucking distress me.
Yeah.
I honestly been thinking of just getting Overwatch and playing
Yeah.
that.
Although I did find, or not find, but I realized I can make one of my classes the way I actually want it by having 2 secondaries. And now I am an asshole because it's a street sweeper and grenade launcher.
Yeah. That's a lot of setup for the people these days.
What?
That's a lot of setup for the people these days. Just because, like, first of all, they fucked up with a variety, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of variety of guns, but they constantly keep nerfing shit.
They do.
Like, it was the same deal with in any Call of Duty, right? Modern Warfare, whatever. But
Yeah.
at least there was variety of weapons, and people, if they wanted to do camo challenges, stuff like that, they actually had to use it. And the challenges weren't that try-hardy. Like, it would be like 150 long shots. Great. I can use like a scope, like a thermal scope, and I can go high, like camp
Yeah.
at a goddamn building
Right.
or a giant hill, and I can fire shots at like people far away.
Yeah.
Right. You have to think about it. Now it's like it's gotten to so ridiculous points where it's like get 50 headshots, but then you have to get people who are imbued with smoke, and you have to get people when you're crouched, and you have to get people. It's like. It's so sweaty.
I know that is one of the that particular one for the last for Modern Warfare was one of the missions I could never do, which was obviously get a kill someone who is near or in smoke.
Yeah, which is such a try-hard thing, and it would be like it worked when you were on shipment.
Right. But I was never able to manage to get to again did all things, had the right gun, had the smoke.
Yeah.
Never managed to get anyone in smoke. It happened like 2 or 3 times, and it wasn't even my smoke bombs.
Like, if you do the other maps, it'd be
Yeah.
a little tougher.
Yeah, the
But
smaller maps.
shipment, you just chuck a smoke and go in and shoot. Right?
There's no small maps actually. It occurs to me in the new one.
Yeah, Cold War has no small maps. The smallest one is Nuketown,
Yeah.
and that map is not even that small. There was 2 giant camping areas, and people camp all the goddamn time,
Yeah.
always. It's not playable.
It
It's a
is
camping
something.
ground.
Yeah.
There's so many ways for people to camp. There's people who camp in the balcony, and one of the sideways from their enemy spawn, in the garage, in the
That-
house.
Would be interesting if they released a map called Campground, but they designed it in such a way.
Pretty sure there is.
No, but called Campground, but design it in a way where you can't camp. Like it's almost impossible to camp in there.
People are gonna find a way to camp. It's impossible to make a map where people don't camp.
True.
You can legitimately a person can camp right outside a door.
Yeah.
They could just stand there with the
Oh,
shotgun,
yeah.
and as
Well, you
someone walks
mentioned
by,
Nuketown. My last game, someone was spawn camping.
yeah, it's not that hard to camp in Call of Duty games.
Yeah.
People take this as a challenge these days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, then you can keep your challenge to yourself. I'm not playing your game, okay?
I find the trick to those people is explosives. Is usually know where they are, and if you can launch one in, fine. If not, I find if you start cooking a grenade and do a suicide run in, usually works.
But here's something that pissed me off recently, right?
Yeah.
About Call of Duty. So there's this stats website that I have never heard of,
Yeah.
and I don't know the name of right now. But you can look it up, and it's a Call of Duty stats website that showed people their skills and how good they're at the
Yeah.
game, and how good they're on a specific map. And,
Okay, yeah.
what they need to do to get better, stuff like that. And it showed people basically how good they are aiming guns, and it
Yeah.
basically showed their all the
Yeah.
shit they needed.
Okay.
And that was all pulled from people's Call of Duty accounts, right?
Yeah.
Which exposed a lot of cheaters. It exposed a lot of people with aimbots, a lot of people with trigger fingers and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right? Good website.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty, Activision, goes out of fucking nowhere to go, hey, you know what? Ban that fucking website. And instead of banning the website, what they did was they made everyone's account information private. So now the website can't use anything anymore. And they're basically now protecting cheaters and aimbotters and trigger fingers.
Yeah.
They're just protecting cheaters.
Okay, so I get everything else. What is the trigger finger exactly?
They basically have a separate button that on their controller. It's a mod where they can just basically spam the shit out of it.
Okay.
One click would mean 3 clicks in a quick second.
Okay.
So your gun would go, instead of going, it would go.
Yeah. Okay.
You'd be speed firing, and people use it for shotguns and snipers and stuff like that.
Okay.
And it basically allows your single shot gun to shoot multiple times.
Okay.
Right? It's so annoying.
Yeah.
When, it's a good reason why I don't play Call of Duty anymore. Christ.
Yeah.
Just pissing me off.
Indeed.
But I've been thinking of, I'm turning into full-on PC brat, so
Great.
it's going to suck for you, mate, because I'm not going
Why?
to touch my gun. I'm thinking of not even getting a PS5.
That's. I'm okay with that.
I'm thinking of just getting a...
We barely play together as it is.
Okay, I invite you, and then you don't join me because you're playing other games.
Yeah.
But that's not my fault. That's yours.
I'm not complaining about when I say we hardly play as it is anyway, though.
I
I
am.
don't say it as a complaint. I'm saying that's just a fact.
Yeah.
So if you're not on console anymore, that's fine.
I mean, I like to play with you, but you just you like last time I wanted to play with you. I told you I was getting on the GTA,
Yeah.
and then you hopped off the GTA the time I got on, and you played Valhalla, and I was like, just play Valhalla later, and then you hated Valhalla.
Yeah, and at the time I wanted to get on because I was trying to get on for days, a few days after I had downloaded. I had the time.
mean,
That was my time to do it.
Yeah,
So,
you work, so it's a little different. I should understand. I am understanding, but it's just, yeah. I want to play with you, just you don't have time. And
GTA is something I can get on. You don't need that much time to be on it. And for me, when I want to start a new game, I want to give myself at least 3 hours to start playing. Ideally. To kind of get into it and just,
I guess. I mean,
Fail the first 2 times or do better and other shit.
what?
I want to be able to take my time when I start a new game. Particularly something with a campaign, like Assassin's Creed.
I guess. I mean, I never played games like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as we've talked about plenty of time, my playstyle compared to your playstyle is very different.
Yeah. How so? Play style or game choice?
Play style.
Okay.
Game choice is like.
All right. So pick a game and how's it different?
Well, you play in like you take it slow. You like to like take in, and you don't. You just like to take in a couple of things, and actually, I've never seen you play campaigns, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how do you. I guess describe yourself, but you played very.
But that depends on what the game is, though. I mean, there's like because like most of the games I play outside of first-person shooter is RPGs.
Well, then we're talking about story here, so it's a little different.
Okay. But depends on there's different version of campaigns for things. When I play RPGs, there's like a style like I play, which is usually greedy and violent.
You mean survival games?
Yes.
Yeah, free world, open world games.
Yeah.
Well, that's Fallout.
Yeah, Fallout and Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
To some extent, I guess Assassin's Creed does not offer a lot in that, but still.
Yeah, but that's your play style. You you try to just get a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I'm like a environment bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to enjoy environment. I like to take in the SFX, the ray tracing shit.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I try to understand the story. I try to go in deep behind the story.
Yeah.
So I know what the purpose of the game was. I try to connect.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't usually get into lore a lot for everything.
Yeah.
So
you're missing out, man. I mean, you have got so many Call of Duty games. You haven't played a single story mode.
I played a little bit, not any. I've never completed a story mode.
Yeah, which you're missing out on.
Not even close to. I haven't even gone halfway or even a fourth.
Because it's like buying an apple and then eating half of it and throwing half of it away. You're not getting most of your money. Yeah. It's like I would at least attempt to play.
Actually, I think a better answer would be like getting a smartphone and then only using it to call and text.
Yeah, that's a fair example.
Yeah, but I'm only using what I want out of it though. So
I guess I know why wouldn't you want to use more out of it? It's like
because I don't care because I'm happy with just doing online multiplayer.
I guess I mean
I don't get much from the camp. I could enjoy the campaign, sure, but I prefer the online. And even the campaigns are so directed that I'd rather be doing, free like open world games, like Fallout or Assassin's Creed's kind of open world and so on. So,
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's just a very different play style from a lot of people.
Sure.
Which is, I don't know.
I'm different.
Yeah. Are we gonna wrap it?
Yeah, that feels like a good point.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it.
I am different, and Devesh is a little conservative, and that's our show.
I just like to enjoy things. That's it. Just enjoy stuff in life. That's
I know.
All right. If you made it this far in the episode, what the fuck are you doing?
I don't know what we talked about this episode, really.
What the fuck are you doing if you made it this far? Good for you that you made it.
I think it means we're interesting to somebody, so which means you need immediate mental help.
Right,
Please see somebody about that.
I'm going to fucking take the final cup of tea.
Give me some. I would like to actually have tea for the ending of one of our episodes, or a drink for one of the episodes. What are you doing?
What?
You're spilling on your laptop.
It's fine. I'll wipe it up.
God.
It's an old laptop. It doesn't really need to worry about it too much. All right. So, like we do with every wrap-up, we're going to sip the final sip of tea, and we're going to call it a wrap.
All right. Slurping? Really? I've given him my death COVID. So
I
have a good night, have a good morning, whatever it is.
No.
Enjoy your day, everybody.
No, hold on. Before we wrap up, I gotta talk about what the fuck happened.
No, we don't.
I slurped up, and so the tea went down my throat.
That's what's supposed to happen.
Like the other end of the throat.
You mean you're the wrong tube? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
I just drank like a full cup of tea.
all right. Well, it's a very small cup, though.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone.
That's the show. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Or-
If you like the show, think about following.
Yeah, follow.
It lets us know that you like our show and you like what we're doing.
Yes,
Which
and-
today was a disaster,
yes.
by the way.
And if you like it, not only follow here, but we'll be on YouTube soon, so subscribe over there.
Yeah, please. We'll see you this week.
This week, yeah.
This week. Hopefully, we can figure out video setup, and then we can do a video podcast for real.
Yeah.
But that's keep your hopes up, people. Keep your hopes up. All right. See you guys. But can't talk.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. See ya.
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 Night, everybody.
Have a good night. See ya.